Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York. We set today's scene Umbraside within the Sept of the Green, where Maeve is pattering along barefoot. The weather's been nice lately, and she doesn't need anything between her and the ground. She has a rather stubborn sort of set to her face as she goes in search of her longtime mentor, and a doll dangling from one of her hands as well, as she goes a-hunting for the familiar lupus.
You give me almost a want to roll stealth and force you to use surviving to try to track him. But he's at the bear shrine, taking care of that bear shrine.
Like you do. Yep, and Maeve will come up, and as she often does when he's in the midst of tending to one of the shrines, will stand back a bit and wait for him to reach a stopping point before taking a knee and tipping back her chin.
After a few minutes, he will turn around. Cliath.
Right.
Congratulations on your passage.
Thank you, Raya. I had meant to come and speak to you already in the wake of succeeding in my right. I know there had been talk of making me a keeper, and I wanted to see if that was still what you wished. But before we go on to that, I want to know what you know about these, and she'll, without rising, just hold out the doll.
He's gonna look at the doll for a second, and I will roll this wonderful dice. Yep. I mean, you don't really need, unless you want to botch a peony. I mean, it can still happen.
I would rather not botch it. I will roll it just to give it the
opportunity. Hilarious.
I'm definitely not botching.
And yeah, that's,
and actually,
that's
I'm
the
gonna
point.
go like that because I'm a jerk. So I get 4. Meaner.
Meh, I don't really care, but that's the point where you're like, so wait a second, I have 4 dice. I'm in lupus, -3. Oh, and by the way, since you're not a Nuctena, I get a -1 to to all my interactions. Oh, and since I have Bear Arcs, I got another 1. Whoa! I can't lie for my life. Yeah, you can see that he looks at the doll. Well, he definitely knows what this is, and you can see that he make this weird sound of almost, trying to not snicker.
And she'll just drop it. If you or a member of your pack has a problem, you can talk to me. We have too many things to worry about to be playing stupid games.
Perhaps you should see the person rather than go talk to me.
You are the alpha. And I'm not chasing someone into the city. If she wanted to say something, she could have come and knocked on my door.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of creeping around my house and putting up dolls and making people think that I can't upkeep my chiminages.
That's what you think?
That is what was assumed when people saw things hanging around my cabin in the Umbra. And I had to assure them that no, I did not fail in my chiminages, and that someone was playing childish games.
You'll have to talk to this person.
Then this person should come and actually talk to me instead of hovering around my cabin.
Why?
Given that I would prefer to have more important things to do, hopefully
No.
more...
Why do you think those dolls were put there?
I can tell why they were put there, albeit it took some insight, but them being wrapped in webs and saying all sorts of dramatic things, I'm assuming it's over Cinna being left in webs. Though I will fight tooth and nail the fact that I left her alone because Adam was there fighting alongside her. I did not leave her abandoned to herself. I left her fighting with another Garu in order to save someone who was not able to fight at all and was left completely unattended with another monster. I didn't abandon someone, I saved someone who was abandoned. And this is horseshit.
I am not sure what horses have things to do with this. However, I had arrived. I was there.
Then you saw that Adam left Nicholas while he was fully bound to come and join Cinna and I, and that is when I let the monster go and went to try to free Nicholas. Only when there was another person there fighting alongside her.
And what an achievement.
I am not saying it went well.
Yes.
I was not fully trapped.
Yes, you were not fully trapped. Had I not intervened to chase away the patterned spider, you would have been.
I would have, and I'm grateful.
However, you had saw that you done almost no damage to this creature. You had to be two to start to even inflict damage. By doing so, by making the choice of trying to free Nicholas, you've left Cinna in a difficult position that allowed her to be entrapped.
I left Cinna in the same position that she was in when it was just her and me, except that it was her and Adam.
You were together fighting this thing, both of you trying to hold it together. By letting go, you have not made the situation exactly equal.
It was able to cast the webs on us even when I was holding it.
Yes, which lead us to the main problem. You, all of you, should not have separated yourself. This was a stupid idea. You should have acted together on one single enemy. That is a matter for another discussion. Something that you will have to deal with Chino. And Olaf and Lucas. Pack tactics is something that you are going to have to deal with. Because clearly this, what happened showed me that clearly this is something that has been lacking in the Cubs' education, unfortunately.
For the most part, Raya, I feel that we have done well. In this particular fight, we were deeply outmatched, so 2-on-1 was not all that it could be. But I was still not going to abandon one cub who was unable to move to one of those spiders.
You will have to talk with the one that is concerned regarding this.
As I've said, Raya, respectfully, I have many things to upkeep here on the Sept. I am not going to chase her into her home, into the city. If she has a problem, so much that she can come all the way to my cabin and make some stupid gesture like this, then she can come to my cabin and knock on my door and speak to me.
He shrugs again. Are you so important that all people have to come to you?
I am not Raya, but as I said, she came that far once already. She could just as easily have knocked on my door and brought her complaint to me. Instead, she chose to play games. It
You
clearly can't be
know,
that upsetting.
he snaps at being interrupted.
She falls silent.
You know that's kind of what Ragabash do, right? You know, not going straight, taking detours. But that's kind of what they do.
My complaint isn't in having a prank pulled on me. My complaint is that we have too many enemies on too many fronts to be evasive about our problems. Pulling the prank, okay, well enough. But she still should actually address the problem. I'm not going to play a grudge game with someone when we have the enemy on our bond.
Hmm. Are you feeling like this?
What do you mean?
I mean, her point of view is pretty clear. She's not playing many games. So you two can come and discuss about it. After all, as much as you are currently busy being a cliath with no set position for now, she's a guardian. And last time I checked, they're also pretty busy.
As I said, she found the time once before. I'm sure she can find it again. I may not have keeper duties at this point, and I may never have keeper duties, but I still have my own chimerages to upkeep, including a trip into the city to make this garden.
Are there any other thing that you wish to talk to me outside of this matter?
No, Raya. If you would pass along the message, I'd appreciate it. If you choose not to, then that is your right, and I respect that.
Hmm. You two will make your own decisions. I'm not your progenitors of neither of you. So, how is that pack idea going? I have sent Chino your way.
She nods and finally smiles a bit. I do appreciate that.
Hmm.
We have sat in talks. We are still waiting for Olaf to return, but
Hmm.
we think we have a good idea.
Hmm. Would have been unfair of me to keep Chino away. Because if I had done so, he would have followed me where I will go.
She nods agreement. That is why I came to you so long ago. I knew that if you called, he would come.
Doesn't mean I won't call for other matters.
And those are matters for the Ictena and none of my business.
Hmm. So, what of this pack?
I think, and actually I assume it's a fairly easy spirit to know offhand. We have looked at several Ictena totems.
Mm-hmm.
Hummingbird was promising, but the ban, the chiminage of constant gnosis, was a bit too heavy for all of us to upkeep. And so we have looked into others. I believe our last discussion, we seemed pretty satisfied with Anaconda. She quirks a brow. Funny side glances aside, many of the snake totems are very favorable to their packs.
Oh, poor Olaf. Oh, it's gonna be hard for him.
What makes you say that?
Anaconda is not well regarded within the nation. And he already bears, as I do, the mark of bear. And he was previously following Uktena, which you may not realize it, but we do not have the best reputation among the tribes. So he exchanged a snake for another snake, and in the end, it stays the same. People will still look at him sideways. I find it incredibly funny.
Then I suppose the actions of our pack will teach people to respect those totems.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm sure that no more prejudice will exist for Anaconda, just as, people totally don't look at me sideways whenever I say, hey, I'm an Uktena and I follow Uktena. Do you have secrets? I'm totally not interested in those.
I'm not saying prejudice will cease to exist, but we will do right by our totem.
Yeah, I would expect Chino to agree for Anaconda. He has a thing for choking.
She quirks a brow.
With those muscles of his, being an Arun. I've seen him training and fight. He likes to grapple things.
And she nods.
You're saying you're upholding many chiminage. What are those? As he at the beginning of the conversation, he kind of had this, this bored expression when you were talking about your grasp with Cinna. When he went from, he's always go funny looking, but right now he has the Olaf face.
The serious face.
Yeah, this is serious Uktena business face.
And she'll finally lean back and actually sit on her rear instead of sitting on her knees. I have spirits that I have been offering chimnages to daily for much of the time that I've been here, and I have only upkept those. And then after the fall of the last warder, I have begun to feed the pigeons. It is a chiminage that they have expected and received daily for such a long time that I did not want them to feel neglected. That, and now there's the hummingbird feeders, and the largest of them is the final garden for spring.
Was that weird thing where you asked 3 things?
She tilts her head.
Out of character, I'm not sure if it was an actual chiminage or not. The time where, people could ask you to do stuff.
Yes, but that wasn't something that was commonly known. Only Maeve and Olaf knew it, so unless Olaf shared it.
Okay. Sure. No, because I know there was a lot of talk in the Hunters of the Lost chat. But I will retro-pedal for this one. Just, not to mitigate, but yeah. The Du-du-du-du.
The chimnages
So-
for spring, for the most part, were a month long, but in exchange for spring's blessing, I have to provide a garden for each month of spring. We have made several, but the final one is... It needs to be transplanted. I have all of the flowers, I have all of the plants. Lucas has finally found me a neglected, kind of dilapidated city block that can be, quote, used for urban beautification, and she does the little air quotes, which means that I should be able to go in there, plant it, and expect it to go undisturbed.
Do you know the right of growth?
I do.
Then you better use it.
It takes 3 people, Raya.
So what? Take other people there.
It's true. I will probably use it as many times as I can manage once everything is planted to ensure that it all sets well.
A garden in the middle of a city that does not last is a very poor gift.
It will last. I will tend to it regularly.
I know, but making right of growth will ensure that it lasts.
And she nods.
So you pay chiminage to the pigeons, pay chiminage to hummingbird, pay chiminage to spring. Are there other spirits that I should be aware of?
Not all are paid in Gnosis, but over the course of the week, and let me pull up my list so I don't forget any real fast. Over the course of the week, I paid chiminage each to stag, dove, raven, rabbit, chimera, great white mouse, and wolf.
Interesting. You better watch out. One day you might chew too much.
I'm aware, and soon I will have to begin phasing out some of them. Carefully and respectfully, of course, but... or at least lessening how many times I see them as opposed to every week.
Yes, there are not many wolves around here. Strangely.
Link made it canon by posting it in one of the announcements, so I've been playing it that she finds the few wolf spirits that are Umbraside and feeds them.
Oh yeah, no, wolf spirit, yes, but wolf, no.
Oh, yes. It's true.
I see. I see. All right. So, there is a power plant that is currently surrounded by electric spirits, surrounded by pains and corrupted earth elementals.
Yes.
And the earth is currently being corrupted all around it. Now, here is the question. How do we deal with this?
Sorry, I was lagging really badly.
Yeah, no, he said, so now how will we deal with this? As he, he almost, pulled his glasses on his muzzle.
My thought, Raya, is that if we cannot purify enough to get closer, then we go to as close as we can to the edge without crossing into the tainted area and call up the earth spirits and see if we cannot offer them a chance to take back what is theirs, a chance to fight back, and perhaps some chiminage in addition. Because even if they don't take out the entire facility, if they can destroy the pipes and the wires that are going through the ground, it will serve much the same purpose, and it would save us a lot of risk to the Garu who would have to go in to actually create the same effect.
Mm.
An earthquake would be pretty effective.
Earthquake would need to actually go through the tainted area. The earth spirit would need to stay away from it. It cannot go. It cannot actually go there. Or if it goes there, well, it is going to be attacked by obviously all the spirits present.
Do you think perhaps if we called up enough of them, I don't want to call up anything bigger than we can talk to and deal with, but perhaps if we called up several on either side of it, through joint effort, they might be able to create enough force going towards, basically towards each other, that it met in the middle and destroyed the station.
That is possible, although I was, well, perhaps we can boost them artificially.
Just tell me how, and I will do it.
I think that we need to make a reserve of anglings. The more
I cannot call them up,
gnosis.
Raya. Sorry.
Hmm?
I'm saying if you will call them up, Raya, I will assist you in making talons.
Making talons is only the end. You need to catch them first. That is how they work. You have to hunt them and kill them.
I'm sure that even if not I, then certainly Lucas and I can catch anything.
Yes. If we were to feed an earth elemental juggling with 5 juggling, I think we may have a powerful ally, and without a need to necessarily do a chimnage to him, outside of a promise to try and purify the land. There is one right that could be done, but that right is far from being subtle.
She tilts her head a bit, knits her brows.
Have you ever heard of a right of the open sky?
I have not.
It is a particular right. This right demands that you sacrifice something that belongs to you. And then you need to enact a dance, a rain dance. And, well, what it will do, it will literally open the sky as a rain will fall and purify worm taint. It is a very effective right to cleanse an area. but we would need to cover it up. And, well, the earthquake indeed wouldn't even be subtle. So, using the open sky is also a possibility.
Is there something about the rite that is blatantly unnatural?
No, it is a rain, but I think you would understand if on a sunny day, then a big cloud start to rain on a particular area.
We could always try to arrange to have either do it when it is already prepared to rain, or we could always. I could do
No,
something similar to what.
wait. We cannot wait for the rain to happen. We will have to provoke it. And also, obviously, there will be sorry. Got the Tomb machine going crazy around here. We would need to be prepared, because if I do it in the Umbra, or if I do it in the Tellurian, you can be damn sure that the enemy is not going to stay idle. They spotted us last time. So
if we can make this bargain, get our earthquake, the others can be poised to attack once the substation is down. And then once that battle is over, they can return to defend you while you enact the rite.
I think that, yes, making a simultaneous attack might be useful for the rite has a very interesting aspect. It says that it allows followers of Gaia to heal and followers of a worm to suffer under the rain.
Then yeah, right after the first attack would be a good time to do it. And it means that if they're able to attack while we're causing the earthquake, the people who will be cut off from their power will have very little opportunity to prepare to defend themselves.
It would only happen on the outside. It can't happen in the lab. So I think that making it a simultaneous attack, for if the enemy starts to gain the upper hand while we are being hurt, they will be armed with silver, most certainly. It needs to happen as we attack. We need to strike fast. Strike fast, strike true.
Well, that's what I mean. As soon as the earthquake hits, while you and I, and whatever other theurges are doing that, the rest can make their assault as soon as the power goes down. Once they have taken care of the lab and retrieved the Garal, we can return to the area of the station and enact your rite.
We'll need to be there. We'll need to be inside with the others. I guess I can use some other of my toys.
What, to go there as soon as the earthquake is done?
We can't let them go without theaters. We can't have them not have us around. You've seen what happens. You've seen what happens when we're not there.
Oh, I agree with you. But if we can start the earthquake, and then once that's been initiated, we can run to join them. I don't know.
Once the rite is enacted, the rain will go.
Well,
So
I assume that you'd have to wait to do the rite until they had joined us so that they could defend you from the tainted creatures, the tainted spirits.
Mm. Yes.
We can
We'll
always
have
return.
to.
Sorry.
We'll have to. No. I'm just thinking that it means I'm going to have a word with the water.
What about the other
And
things that we
Garrett.
have? Sorry? What about the other things that we have to do before we go to retrieve him? He said that we would have to go to the atrocity realm.
Hmm. Yeah, the atrocity realm. God damn it. Out of character. Damien is tired, and he can't remember what information we need to gather from here.
I can't remember exactly either, but I do remember that we have to hit the atrocity realm. We have to hit the substation. I could have sworn we had to hit one more other thing before we actually attacked the lab.
Yeah, no, I know that the atrocity realm we need to search for something, but I don't remember exactly why or exactly what needs to be gathered from the atrocity realm. But anyway, we need to wait Olaf for this, so.
He'll be back soon.
There's also something that I might try to do. I need to talk with Bear as he turns to a shrine. Bear knows all his children. If he can confirm me who he was, who is the girl who is sleeping under the mountain, under the lab, I might perhaps be able to gather information from him by entering into his dream.
Raya, I don't think he's sleeping. I think he's in the lab.
Of course, he is in the lab, but that doesn't mean that they are keeping him awake. Girls fall asleep for a long time, just as Bear does. Perhaps they have him awakened and use it to do their experiments, but perhaps it is better for them to maintain him asleep, defenseless, so that they can harvest his power and try to corrupt him.
It's worth
One
trying.
is always more vulnerable when they sleep, when they are almost defenseless, rather than when they are awake and aware of what happens around them. I will have to see if there is anything we can gather that might be worth a shot. All right. I guess that your pack, just as mine, is going to take interest in the cash.
She tilts her head a bit. You mean the places that Chino found?
Yes.
The only downside is that at the moment it seems that we only have, or are about to have, 2 fully formed and fully battle-ready packs, and there are 3 caches to hit. It may be rough. We may be only able to hit 2 at a time.
I thought the Striders of Ice and Concrete were still alive last time I checked.
I'm sure they are. I just don't know what condition they're in.
They're the pack of Travis. They better get up. They better start to do their job.
I hope so, Raya. It would be much easier if we could send a pack to each.
If we send a pack to 2 of them, then the last cache would be lost forever. We have to strike at the same time at the 3 caches, otherwise it becomes completely useless.
She knows agreement.
Dangerous. But I guess we'll see what Contemplates has to say about this. Garrett says that this is the priority of the moment. Well, I'll see if we actually have a change compared to previously. You can totally throw a peony on that.
I can what?
You can totally throw a peony on that statement.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Somehow you get the feeling that he does not bear the water in his heart.
Trying to remember which is who. Warder is Contemplates, right?
Contemplates for mercy. Philodox get off in rear.
Seems, I'm going to say it seems kosher not to comment on that.
But we'll see. Perhaps I might be proven wrong. For once, that would be a very much welcome change.
I can only hope so, Raya.
Have you talked to Travis?
Not yet.
Then go. Before it's too late. You might come to regret if you have lost time.
And she'll nod agreement and finally begin the process of getting to her feet.
I'll be waiting for you at the crack of dawn.
She quirks a brow.
I don't take slackers.
Where do you wish me to meet you, Raya?
I always start with the Shrine of Uktena.
She'll nod agreement. All right. I'll be there.
And he stretched a little bit. Gonna have to talk to the Tryggvason. I will see you later.
She again kind of quirks her brow a little bit, but nods.
As he starts to trot off. Terminate police. Terminate police.
And with him trotting off with his little song, I think that is the perfect place to end this scene, saying thank you, player, for playing, and thank you, creepers, for creeping. And we will see you next time on Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York.